news, such as our top story today, the UAE president addresses COP27, which is the climate change conference, happening in Egypt right now. So he said his key highlight is that the world must work together to tackle climate change. They were the powerful words by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan as he delivered his address at the 27th United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, aka COP27, which is happening in Sharm el Sheikh right now. He emphasized the importance of international cooperation to tackle climate change for the sake, of course, of future generations.
The UAE president emphasized the need for the international community to collaborate on finding practical climate action solutions, telling the assembled audience they are meeting at a critical time for our planet and our future generations. His Highness spoke to the UAE's position as a responsible energy provider, and he reiterated that the UAE's support for the efforts to accelerate the global energy transition and enable sustainable economic growth.
All eyes are on COP27 right now as world leaders are there. Rishi Sunak is there discussing climate change for future generations, and also you can read his entire opening address on WAM.ie. And of course, COP28 will be held right here in 2023 at Expo City Dubai. His Highness mentioned that in his address as well. So of course, that's probably one of the reasons he was doing an address there. And I think the key thing is that, a lot of statements are made at these climate conferences. And there's a lot of kind of big statements, big promises. And I think the key question is whether or not they will be fulfilled. And that's one of the key things people are looking at. But more information, I know Expo City Dubai, they dropped information about COP28 as well, what's happening, some of the key highlights and what will happen there. So we're obviously super excited about that. And that's next year. And another reason to be excited to return to Expo.
Well said. But you know what I've been thinking this entire time? This story that we just did, which you forwarded to all those people that have been attaching their hands onto paintings in the Louvre in Paris. Because they think that no one's doing anything, but these conversations are being held by world leaders. And obviously it's a massive change that needs to happen with what's going on with our climate and the future generations. So a lot of people just don't know what is being done, and a lot is being done, in especially...
Well, they're probably aware of COP happening every year, but I think that some commitments are made, and then are they being followed through? So that's the key question we're looking at now, because I think there has been some very successful commitments by bigger companies, global powers, but whether or not they're actually seeing those through. So I think that's the challenge now. So first it was getting everyone together to make these statements, and now that they're happening, it's like, okay, so what are the little steps to actually make sure that those changes are being fulfilled?
Yeah, I think it is about the little steps until you get to the bigger picture.
Go and deliver this speech to the climate activists that have been... That whole question about, protecting art versus protecting the art environment is interesting, and, whether or not the Mona Lisa is more important than our environment. But I would like to see you...
Morning, guys. Hope your hand's okay after getting your hand unsuperglued from the paintings.
ICYMI, in case you missed it, or you've been living under a rock. COP is happening. But I think they're obviously aware that COP is happening, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Good point. You showed me there.
Well...
And also, I'm sorry, a painting is a piece of paper. It's easier to maintain than the entire planet. That's just a side note.
Of course.
I don't know.